And I'm going to share my screen. And so I'm just going to go over this process. It's not any new material. It's just going over the process of creating an Open Lab post and submitting the assignment. The assignment for the website is due Thursday, so we'll take a look at these at the beginning of class on Thursday. And then I'll have a demo on Thursday for after that. And then the last three, we only have 3 more classes after that next week, and we have like another week and a half after this week, and we'll just work on the final project. So I'll go over that on next week, next Tuesday. Anyway, let's take a look at the assignment. I put a link in the voice chat if you want to take a look at that. I'm going to go over to my browser. So for the requirements for the assignment, you can see them here. Formatting is kind of weird. If I can fix this real quick. Just put like here. I think this is like stuck inside here. Let me see if actually, these WordPress posts have HTML in them that they don't show you. This, when you're making a WordPress post, this is called a WYSIWYG editor, or what you see is what you get. But it is actually a website. So if you click on this text tab, you can actually see the HTML that WordPress generates when you're creating it. So it's not really important or related, but we can take a look at it while I try to fix the styling. Let's see. There's like an extra. Okay, I see the problem here. There's an extra UL here and an extra LI. So even WordPress isn't perfect when it comes to writing HTML. Okay, so then there's like an image and a thing, an extra couple of things down here. Okay, I think that will hopefully fix things. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's go back to the actual page. Okay, this looks a little bit better. It still looks kind of weird, but anyway. Okay, so we're creating a choose your own adventure story with HTML and CSS code. Remember, like our other assignments, this is just a prompt to get you started. If you have other ideas for something you want to do, that's fine, as long as it meets the requirements. Each page should have 2 options to choose from. So it could have, 3 options. I guess some of your pages could have 1 option, playing with the format a little bit, but generally they should have 2 options. Should be at least 5 HTML pages. All of the pages should have the required tags: HTML, head, title, and body. You should use one header, or at least one H1 header. You should use a paragraph, image, and a link. And you should have a link back to the home page, so we can always go back to the home page. If you use any images or other media, make sure to have attributions for that media. You can include that on the website itself, or you could put it in your Open Lab post. And so that's the HTML. You should also style your page with CSS. You should at least have color, text size, font family, and text decoration. Actually, I don't think we covered text decoration, so don't worry about that one. We did cover a bunch of other extra stuff. That stuff's not required, but it's useful. So once you've looked at your website and you make sure that you're meeting all those requirements, you're going to publish an Open Lab post with the following: a URL to the published site. So I'll go over this in a second, but this is what it should look like. It should have repl.co at the end, and it should have your website URL and your username in there as well. Then the URL for the Replit project itself. So this is where your actual code is. This URL should look something like this: replit.com/your username and then the website. And you need both of those links. And then a short statement. This is going to be similar to the ones we've done in the past. There's a template here, which you can copy and paste or just use as an example. So we'll leave that there and we'll edit that later. And then for Blackboard, you only need to submit a link to the Open Lab post. You don't need to attach any files or anything else like that. There's a grading rubric here. There's also the same one is embedded in the Blackboard assignment, so you can view it there as well. You can see all the requirements here. This is actually an old version. The one in Blackboard is updated, so there's some stuff in here that we didn't use, like GitHub. We used Replit instead. So then when you're ready, well, actually, let's do this at the end. So those are all the requirements. So let's open up our website. I have a bunch of different copies for different demos, so I'm just going to create a new copy for like the final version. But you only need one copy. You don't have to have multiple copies. So the last demo I did was this CSS Basics layout. I'm going to go ahead and fork this and make MMP 100 final website. And I'm not actually going to edit anything in here, but I just want to have a different version for the final project. And I'll use this to show the URL and all that stuff that we're going to use. So I'm going to click on this open in a new tab link in the web view here. And that here is the URL that is our published version of our website. You may want to test that your links work. So I'm going to click on here and make sure all these links work correctly. Okay, I didn't make all of the necessary pages, but I was just doing a demo, so you should have a few more pages than me. But that's the basic setup. So I want to make sure to get this link as well as a link to the Replit page. So that way we can see the published version of the website and the code that the website is built on. So if you've got all that stuff and you're ready to make your post, you can go over to the Open Lab. Oh, that's the wrong Open Lab site. Go to MMP 100. And if you're logged in, if you're not logged in, you need to log in. If you're logged in, you can click on the plus to make a new post. And so then we need this template. So I'm going to grab the template here. Oh, there's like a typo here. That should be MMP 100. But we don't need this whole thing. I'm just going to grab this part. I'm going to Control C, copy that. And here we go. I'm going to say this is my website, and I'll paste this in. And so the title, if you have a title for your story, you can put that here. I'm going to call this Choose Your Own Adventure Website. Semester year is spring 2023. And then the coding language software. So we use HTML and CSS with Replit, our IDE. And then it's a quick description of the project. My website is a choose your own adventure story set in the woods. And then you can write whatever you want here if you want to elaborate on the story and talk about, what your concept was and stuff like that. If you want to talk about the technologies, you can say that as well. So I use HTML for the basic pages with CSS styling and hyperlinks to connect each page and images to illustrate the settings. And so then I need to include attributions for the images that I used. Well, actually, let's put the links first, and then we'll add the image attributions. So let's put a link to the live site. So we'll say live site link, and then I'm going to go to this page and just copy the link here. And then if it has index.html at the end, that's fine. If it doesn't really need it. You can have it either way. So I'm just going to put it like that. And then I'm going to say code link. And I'm going to link to my Replit page here. Same thing here. You don't need that index.html at the end, but it's okay if it's there. And then I'm going to say image sources. And then I put the images that I used up in these comments. So I'm just going to copy this and open it in a new tab. And I'll just go through the process that we've gone through a few times at this point of copying the Creative Commons information. So I want to start with the name of the image, which is this. So I'm going to put the name of the image in quotations, and then the author. And let's see if I can find the author on here. I'm not seeing it. Okay, so here's actually where they got the image from. And so I can find the author here, which is Simon Matzinger. And they also go by 8 Moments on some other website, which I've actually never seen before, unsplash.com. Okay, that's cool. You could include this or not. I'm just going to use the author's name here. So I'll copy that and paste. And then I want to put the date is right there. And the Creative Commons license is is CC0. Okay, so I'm just going to put license CC0. And then I'm going to paste a link. I'm going to add a link to the Wikipedia page because that's where it originally came from. Okay, so that's my first image. Let's do the second one. So this is also from Wikimedia. I'll just go ahead and go straight there. And this one is called Lost in the Wilderness. Oh, is this by the same author? No, it's the same website, but it's a different author. So this is Lost in the Wilderness by this author is Edie Wirahada Pradnayana. Oops, I didn't copy that correctly. So I got to copy, Control C, and paste. And then the date for this image is April 2017. That in there. And then the license is also CC0. And then finally the link to the image. Okay. And so I think that's everything. So one thing you might want to do is add an image to your post. You don't have to do this, but it might be kind of nice if you want your documentation to look good. So I'll show you guys real quick how to take a screenshot on Windows. I'll show you there's some links to taking screenshots in other places. I think I might have gone over this before, but just in case I haven't. On Windows, it's pretty easy. I can hit the Windows key and then the G key, and that's going to bring up this thing called the Xbox Game Capture or something like that. They have these built-in capture controls. And this window right here, where I see the capture, I can see that it has my website. I have to click on my website first and then do this. And if I just click this camera button here, it's going to save an image on my computer. And so I can go and I can see that image by clicking on See My Captures. And if I click on this button here, it's going to open up my File Explorer. And you can see I've got some other captures in here from another demo from another class. But there's my website right there. And so if I want to include that in my post, I can just drag this on here. I want to put it up here. So you don't have to do that, but it might make your post look a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and preview this image or this post. Okay, so there we go. That's the website. Those are the links, and those are my sources. The links, for some reason, didn't auto-generate. So if you want your links to be clickable, we can just select the link text. And I'm just going to hit Control K. And that'll just turn it into a link. I'm going to turn on the open a new tab. I'm going to do that with this link as well. Or I can just click the link here, click open a new tab. I can do that with these image links as well. They didn't auto-generate either. So once I'm ready, I'm just going to click publish. And this post, the link to the post is all that I need to add to my Blackboard submission. So when this is done, we're going to copy this. We've got that link now. We can also view the post. I can also copy the link from the URL bar here. So I can hit Control. For other, oh, I don't have it here. Okay, I'll have to add this. I'll put this in the video. Usually, I don't know where it is, but I have a page with links to different ways of doing documentation on Mac and PC. So I'll add that info in the video. So I have the link. I'm ready to submit. I'm going to go over to Blackboard. I'll turn on the student preview. So I would go to assignments, and then here's the website assignment. Just going to click on there. And then if I want to look at the rubric, I'm going to click view rubric, and I'm going to take a look at the requirements, make sure that I've done everything that is required. And then all I'm going to do is click write submission. I'm going to paste my link here, and you don't need anything else. There's no attachments or anything else for this submission. So I'm just going to click submit, and there we go. I'm all done. So I'm going to leave this here, and that is it for submitting the website assignment. So I'm going to stop the recording here, and if you guys have any questions, we can